Okay, another little story. I don't know. I think maybe because of the trees and stuff around here, the Myrtle Beach, and it sort of reminded me a little bit like New Zealand of the mouse plagues we get. Not that I've seen a mouse here. So, wee story. I've actually written a story. I wrote it years ago, and it's going to be part of a book or half a book. Not too sure. I need to go over it all again. And from memory, I've called it Double Cheeseburgers. And it's about mouse fishing in New Zealand. And it's lots of stories blended into it from people I met when I had the shop. Because I just met some amazing people. They come in the shop, tell me all these stories. So here's just one story from just randomly off my head. So this guy comes in the shop and he tells me this amazing story. He's fishing up somewhere off Mount Cook in the centre of the South Island of New Zealand. And he's on his Jinclear River and there's a beech tree above him. And he's got this big rainbow trout in front of him and he's fishing away. And he's trying to catch it. And he's changing fly after fly after fly. He reckons, as normal, it's the biggest fish of his life. And he's never caught one like that. So he is not leaving it. He wants to catch it, he's telling me. And he's changed all these flies and he goes through his full fly box. He obviously didn't have a STU'S Superior fly in the box at the time, or he would have caught it. Because that's why he was in my shop, to buy some. I would say that. But anyway, so he can't catch it. He's not having any luck. And he sees this mouse up in the tree. And this mouse is jumping around through the branches. And the branch is hanging over the middle of the pool. And the mouse is picking off is eating the beech seeds, because that's what they eat. They usually eat them on the ground, but it's up on the tree eating them. And so he's watching this bright sunny day, and the mouse slips and falls into the water. Boom! And this fish just comes up, boom, explodes, takes this mouse, swallows it, sinks to the bottom, and stays there, digesting this mouse. He stays for another couple of hours trying, and this fish doesn't move. It's obviously full, and he's digesting it, and it's not making another attempt on another insect. True story about trout eating mice, and there's heaps of them. Watch out for this Double Cheeseburger book. Or half book? Not too sure. Anyway, that's just another little story from the vault. So while I'm talking about the pogo nymph, so I'm in a tent X amount of years later. I'm in America and I'm camped somewhere near Michigan or somewhere. Anyways, I'm in the tent and I'm reading this magazine. And it was brilliant. It was called the Drake magazine. And it was funny. I just liked it. So I wrote a letter saying, I'm in my tent, I'm from New Zealand, I'm reading your magazine and I love it. Lo and behold, I always remember they printed that letter, about me being in the tent and loving the magazine. Why wouldn't they? It's great PR for them. But then I had another magazine in it. Yeah, it just doesn't cut the mustard as good as the Drake, because the Drake's kind of like funky out there. Cool magazine. But I'm reading it and I'm just And I'm reading it. Well, I'm reading every word because I'm in the tent and that's all you can do. And I don't have internet. It's before all that time. It's got my head torch on. And I'm reading it, and next minute I'm reading this bit from New York of this gentleman about flies and stuff. And there's like quarter of a page about Stu tripping his pogo nymph that I didn't know about. It's just randomly reading this magazine, and this guy's going on about this fly from New Zealand that he loves, and it's one of his top flies, blah, blah, blah. And I'm pretty sure I might have that. I've got this big box at home, and I've got this big box of stuff, of memories, I suppose, for, I don't know, it's all tapes and films and magazines and books, which things have been featured that my flies especially have been featured in that I've kept. So I might have that. So when I get back to New Zealand, I might be able to show you that article. But that's just a little bit about the pogo nymph, that it's just little stories like that coming back to me as I'm cruising around here, and I found this beautiful spot. It's so quiet, so quiet, so quiet. Can you hear me? So as I'm driving along here, my brain's going, I'm like, I got it. And I've been asked to make some stories and tell some more stories. So early 2000s, that's a long time ago. I've been invited to America. I think I'd won this gold medal for one of my fly designs, got me noticed. So I got asked to go and tie some flies at this event. So I go there. And I'm pretty shy. To be honest, I am pretty shy, introvert, whatever, recluse. But I went. And it was overwhelming for me. So anyway, I had my little desk and that set up. And then I was just like a stunned mullet. I was just like all nervous, shaking. And I thought, Jesus, so I started tying quite a simple fly that I designed called the Pogo Nymph. And, it's become quite famous. It's got the foam wing case and it floats in the water. You can float it in the surface, or you can pull it down with a heavy fly. And have the heavy fly, a little bit of line off the end of it, and the pogo in the end, and it floats around like this and pogos around the water. It's got a lot of movement because the current's pulling it and it wants to float because of the foam wing case. Anyway, so I'm tying this. This guy comes up to me and says, and I've got a little sign, Southland Athol. And he goes, Southland, New Zealand? Whereabouts? And he can't see that it says Athol. And I go, Athol. And he goes, asshole? You calling me an asshole? And I was like, no, Athol. I'm not calling you an asshole. And we had a bit of a laugh about it, etc. Then he shows me a picture in his wallet of a fish he caught in New Zealand. Turns out, I look at the photograph and I go, that's from the Mataura River. And that's, a bit of a drive from where I live. And he's like, how the hell did you know that? I said, I just know by just looking at the coloration of the fish in the background. And the more we spoke, the more we realised I actually had sold him the fly that had caught that fish. True story. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, he became my best man, my best friend, even though apparently I called him an asshole. That's what happens when you got an accent. Asshole.